Well, good afternoon, and I want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here today. Today is a very important day for the very rich history of the city of El Paso. It's also a very important day for the future of the Supreme Court of Texas. I'm here today to announce the appointment of a native of El Paso to become a justice on the Supreme Court of Texas. And that is Rebecca Huddle, who's with me, who is joined by her husband, Greg Huddle, as well as her two daughters. It's not a happenstance that we gathered today for this announcement at this location, because this is where Rebecca Huddle went to high school. She grew up just down the street of where we are gathered at this moment. Rebecca is a first-generation American. Her mother immigrated from Juarez to Texas and later became a naturalized citizen. Rebecca's father passed away when she was just 5 years old. Although her mother never graduated from high school, she worked tirelessly as a seamstress in a factory in El Paso to provide for Rebecca as well as Rebecca's 4 siblings. Rebecca learned her powerful work ethic right here in El Paso, Texas. Growing up, learning the lessons from her mother, growing up, learning the lessons from her fellow El Pasoans about what it means to work hard, to strive, to achieve bold things in your lives. After graduating from high school, she earned a scholarship to Stanford University. And then she went on to attend the University of Texas School of Law, where she graduated with honors. Her legal skills are absolutely extraordinary. In addition to being one of the leading partners at one of the most respected law firms in the entire nation, she also has served as a justice on Texas's first Court of Appeals, which is located in the Houston area. She has a proven respect for the rule of law and for the role of the Constitution. Texans depend on a fair and impartial justice system and judges who follow the law as written. I know that Rebecca will faithfully defend the Constitution and will go to work every single day for the people of Texas. This appointment is available because of the retirement and departure of former Justice Paul Green. I want to thank Justice Paul Green for his legacy of service to the state of Texas, to the Supreme Court of Texas. And we wish him well for his future, and I want to emphasize how much he will be missed. I'm confident, however, that Rebecca Huddle will be a shining example of what a Supreme Court justice can be and will be in filling the shoes of Justice Paul Green. So, Rebecca, I want to congratulate you and thank you for accepting this responsibility, and say congratulations to both you and your family.
Thank you so much, Governor Abbott, for that kind introduction and for the generous remarks. It is a tremendous honor to serve the people of our state as a justice on the Texas Supreme Court. I'm deeply grateful for the trust that Governor Abbott, you have placed in me by appointing me to do this important work. I pledge to work hard every day to faithfully apply the law as written in every case that comes before the court. I won't legislate from the bench. I will do my very best on every case. I'll treat every case as the most important case that comes before us. No matter the issue, no matter the litigants involved, no matter what resources they have, no matter where in Texas the litigants come from. Because that's what the people of Texas can do and should expect from our judiciary. Even-handed, impartial, fair, and respectful treatment for every litigant, and faithful adherence to our Constitution and other laws. And speaking of what part of Texas you're from, I'm really grateful to you, Governor Abbott, for making this important announcement here today, in this place that is very dear to my heart. This day would have been special for me, and it's a day that I would have remembered the rest of my life, no matter where it took place. But it has extra special meaning to me because it's here in my hometown of El Paso, in central El Paso, where I grew up, at Austin High School, my old stomping grounds, and just 6 blocks away from Porter Street, where I grew up my whole life. I'm proud to be an Austin Panther. I'm proud of this school and the important work that's being done at the Sandra Day O'Connor Public Service Academy here. I'm proud of my classmates from Austin High School and other Austin alumni who have really stepped up in recent years to give back to our community through significant support of athletic boosters, through support of financial scholarships for Austin Panthers going to UTEP, other colleges, and technical schools. I know firsthand that scholarships can be life-changing. So thank you, Governor, for being here in the place that's so meaningful to me. I also want to thank Greg and the girls, my family, some close family and friends who are here today to share this special day with us, my madrina. And what a way to close the month of Hispanic Heritage Month this year. I want to close on a point that I've already made, but bears repeating, and I want to emphasize. I'm so deeply honored to do the work that's awaiting me at the Texas Supreme Court. I pledge I'll faithfully apply the law as it's written. I understand the magnitude of the trust and responsibility that the governor is placing in me and in every justice of the Supreme Court. And I'll work hard every day to earn that trust anew. I'll work hard every day to earn that trust anew when I go to the Texas Supreme Court to serve the people of our great state. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be happy to take a few questions. Sure. If you don't mind, I'm having a hard time hearing because of the additional noise. And if you could speak up a tiny bit also. Sure. So listen, I'm going to answer your question, and I'll come back to it momentarily. I do want to provide an opportunity for people to ask any questions they may have with regard to the Supreme Court appointment, and then I'll come back to you first.
Claro que sí. Tan feliz, es difícil platicarle que tanto orgullo siento por este trabajo, por el honor que el gobernador Abbott me ha puesto. Lo único que siento es que no está aquí mi mamá para compartir este feliz día. Claro. Trabajó totalmente día y noche para que nosotros podríamos tener mejor vida. No tengo agenda. Sí, quiero decidir los casos que vienen a la corte. Ese es el trabajo, sin agenda.
Any other questions on the appointment?
Perdón, no te oí. Ajá. Rebecca, R-E-B-E-C-A, Aispuru, A-I-Z-P-U-R-U, Huddle, H-U-D-D-L-E. A-I-Z-P-U-R-U, Aispuru.
First, her broad-based legal skill set, having worked at a law firm that I'm very familiar with, which is one of the premier law firms, if not in the country, in the entire world. Second, her service on the bench already, knowing what it means to be an appellate justice who can consider a case before her and write well-constructed opinions to provide legal guidance for all the litigants and parties in the future. But it's also the life that she has lived, a life where she learned at an early age what it means to work hard, what it means to strive to achieve greater things, and she put in that effort time and again, whether it be at Austin High, whether it be at Stanford, whether it be at the University of Texas, or whether it be in her private practice or in the public sector. And so she has a life that's demonstrated the attributes that we're looking for, not just for a Supreme Court justice, but for one of the premier leaders in the state of Texas.
I'm glad that with all the controversy, we're now glad that faith was not an issue or I appreciate that.
Okay, two more questions from the media.
We'll come back. Anything else about the Supreme Court appointment? Come back to your question. I'll let you ask it again. I think I remember it, but I want to make sure I get every component of it. Sure. First, it's important for everybody to understand that as Texas goes about the process of opening up even more, ensuring that people are going to be able to have the ability to get back to work as well as to return to school, we also need to remain flexible to respond to any rise in the spread of COVID-19. One part of that is having local officials take action that is needed to make sure they do mitigate the spread of COVID-19. But the state of Texas is also working to assist the El Paso region in addressing their challenges. We're doing that in two ways. First, Texas has already provided the El Paso area more than 2 million masks, more than 100,000 face shields, and then in addition to that, we are providing El Paso County Independent School Districts with an additional more than 2 million masks, and altogether more than 4 million pieces of personal protection equipment. Second, we are providing a dramatic increase in testing capability. Part of the testing capability will be community-based. A large part of the testing capability will be school-based. The state of Texas now has the ability to conduct 100,000 15-minute rapid tests per day to identify whether or not COVID exists. As you may have already reported, the rollout of the pilot project of this includes 8 ISDs across the state of Texas, 2 of which are here in the El Paso area. And we've already begun testing educators in these school districts in the El Paso area to identify whether or not they do or do not have COVID-19. The amount of that testing will continue to increase. We want all educators to know whether they do or do not have COVID and what their exposure to COVID is. Then, in addition to making sure that staff and teachers will be tested, we want to make that testing available to all students, with me emphasizing this one point. No student will be tested without the prior written approval of their parent or guardian. That's a decision that is to be made by their parent or guardian, and we want to make sure that they are partners in this process of ensuring that their child or the person that they are the guardian of will be able to be tested with their approval. On top of that, we also, at a state level, we are surging medical supplies as well as medical personnel to assist local medical facilities in the nursing care and medical care that is needed to treat all patients at whatever level. We have experience in responding to situations like what El Paso is going through right now in what we did in the Rio Grande Valley, where the situation in the Rio Grande Valley was far more stressed than the way it is in El Paso right now. We have the same experience in other regions of the state of Texas. Each of them have led to a reduction in the spread of COVID. The Rio Grande Valley got contained and is now one of the best contained regions in the state of Texas because of the way that we surged resources to that region. We will continue to surge resources to the El Paso region till the time that El Paso has COVID contained.
Two more questions.
We saw that you included a few El Paso area students in the rapid testing. How was the DC district prepared?
The Texas Education Agency looked around the state of Texas for school districts that would assist them in this pilot project, knowing that this is a process of perfecting the system that we will be rolling out across the entire state of Texas. As of yesterday, the Texas Education Agency informed superintendents that they needed to opt their school district into this program by October the 28th. This program that is being tested here in El Paso will be available to school districts across the entire state of Texas if a school district opts into that program. But we have an abundant number of these rapid tests that will give a response in 15 minutes available to the faculty, to the staff, to the personnel in schools across the entire state of Texas that we will be rolling out very prolifically here in the next few weeks. No, the only limitation about whether or not it will be implemented in a school district is whether or not that school district chooses to opt in. We have the resources to make sure that it will be able to be an effective system in all school districts, but some school districts have already said they do not want to participate.
The last question.
For one, it's always good to see a large voter turnout. We believe this is a sign of great interest in the election. Obviously, there is great interest in the presidential election. I do want to emphasize two things about voting in this particular election. One is this is the first election that has not had straight ticket voting. And so if a person goes in to vote for president, they need to understand that they have to continue down the ballot if their vote is going to count in all these other races. And so we urge people to continue to go all the way down the ballot. Second is we have provided additional days of early voting so that people will be able to go cast a vote in a less congested setting so that they will be safer from contracting COVID-19.
Thanks, guys.
So I don't know all the details of what the mayor did. What I do know is this, and that is generally what Mayor Margo is doing is similar to what local officials did in Hidalgo County, in Cameron County, in Webb County, as well as some other regions across the state of Texas. Local officials do have levels of flexibility to make sure they are able to contain the spread of COVID-19, and it appears that is exactly what Mayor Margo is doing.